Here are our percent problems. We're going to solve these both as equations and as proportions. Quick answers on percents. All right. Working as an equation, this is x equals 0.06 times 1830. X equals 109.8. If you're making this a proportion, then 6%, which is 6 over 100, goes in one proportion. And the other proportion, this is the whole and this is the part. So we have x over 1830. And when we cross multiply to find cross products, we have 6 times 1830 equals 100x. And we divide both sides by 100, and we put that in our calculator, and we get x equals 109.8. As an equation, this says 12 equals x times 96. I have a 96 multiplied to my variable, so I need to divide each side by this number. So these go away, and x equals 0.125. But remember, it says what percent? So I need to make this into a percent. Now, if I were going to make this a proportion, I don't know the percent, but I do know that the whole is 96 and the part is 12. So 12 times 100 equals 96 times x. And I'm going to divide each side by 96, and x equals 12.5. Now this one actually shows you the correct number for the percentage. You don't have to change it. 50% of what is 300? I have 0.15 times x equals 300. I have a number multiplied to my x. In order to get rid of it, I need to divide each side by 0.15, and that gets rid of this, and this tells me that x equals 2,000. In our proportions, 15% looks like this. This is our whole, and this is our part. So 300 times 100 equals 15 times x. And I divide each side by 15, and I get x equals 2,000. And that's percents. Here are our 2 percent word problems. Quick answers. So Jake paid $32,000 for a car last year. This year it depreciated by 7.2%. And the question is, what is it worth now? Well, what we need to do first is find out what 7.2% of $32,000 is. Now realize 7.2% of $32,000, this means multiply, and we're going to make this into a decimal. So we're going to multiply this number times this number. And we get 2304. So it depreciated by $2,304. So we're going to take that and we're going to subtract it from the 3,200. From the 32,000. And now Jake's car is only worth $29,696. Last year, Sally was paid $1,500 in bonuses. This year, that could go up 4%. What should she expect this year? Well, what is 4% of 1,500? That's 0.04 times 1,500, which is 60. So it should go up by $60. So we're going to add 60 to the 1,500, and we're going to get 1,560 for next year. Okay? These are Chapter 9 problems. You're going to find the perimeter and area of a parallelogram and a triangle, a trapezoid, and then you're going to find the circumference and area of a circle with a radius of 6 and also a circle with a diameter of 15. Here are our quick answers. All right, we're going to start with the perimeter and area of a parallelogram. Now, a parallelogram has two sides that are the same here and two sides that are the same here. So finding the perimeter means 9 plus 12 plus 9 plus 12. 9 plus 12 plus 9 plus 12. So that's going to give us 24, 34, 42 meters. And I want to make sure perimeter is a distance, so it's the same as that. Now when I find the area is going to be length times height, just like a rectangle. Because if I took this triangle off and I moved that triangle over here, it would be this long. So I'm going to go 12 times 7. And notice in the area, I only use these two numbers, and in the perimeter, I only use the outside numbers. So you're not going to use every number every time. Please don't let that confuse you. 12 times 7 is 84, and area is always meters squared. With a triangle, the area of a triangle is base times height divided by 2. Or base times height over 2, or base times height times 1/2. They're all the same. So you're going to find the base, which is 10, and the height, which is 4. Now, obviously not drawn to scale. So your area is going to be, divided by 2. So 10 times 4 is 40, divided by 2 is 20, and area is millimeters squared. Now to find the perimeter, we're going to go all the way around the outside. 8 plus 8 is 16, plus 10 is 26. So the perimeter is 26 millimeters, and this is just a distance. For a trapezoid, the area of a trapezoid is base 1 plus base 2 divided by 2 times the height. And the bases are the parallel lines. These two lines are parallel. These two lines are obviously not going in the same direction. So we're going to find the average of these two. We're going to add them together and divide it by 2. This is just an average. So we're going to do 12 plus 18, and it doesn't matter which one is which, divided by 2. This is 30 divided by 2, so that's going to be 15 times the height. And the height of this is 10 inches. So our area is going to equal 150 inches squared. Where our perimeter is just the distance around. So that's 12 plus 14 plus 18. 12 plus 12 is 24, plus 14 is 38, plus 18 is 46. 46 inches. Okay? Then we have circumference in the area. Circumference is just like the perimeter of a circle, but it's got its own formula. Circumference equals 2 pi r or pi d, because r times 2 is d. These two are the same. So if you have a radius or you have a diameter, either one will work for circumference. Only radius will work for area, though. So with circumference, when I'm finding this, I'm going to find 2 times pi, which is 3.14, times 6. And that equals 37.68 meters. When I'm finding area, that is pi r squared, which means pi times r times r. And r here is 6. We're going to go 3.14 times 6 times 6, which is 113.04 meters squared. Now for this problem, we have a diameter of 15, so I'm going to use this equation for my circumference. So here my circumference equals 3.14 times 15, which equals 47.1 feet. And then area is 3.14 times, and here I've got to find the radius. So I've got to do 15 divided by 2. I've got to find 7.5 feet for my radius. So it's 3.14 times 7.5 times 7.5. And I get 176.625 feet squared. Okay? There's one more thing. When we solve problems like these, we need to only estimate. We are not asked to find the exact answer. Don't solve it and then round. First, do your estimation. So when we estimate 36.09 plus 27.6254, we want to estimate to the nearest tenth. So we've got to find the tenth first. We're going to look next door to see what this number ends up being. Well, this number, when we look next door, it says to round up. So we're going to round this up to 36.1, and the rest disappears. This one, it says this number is going to stay the same. So this number becomes 27.6, and the rest of them disappear. And now we're just adding these two numbers. So 36.1 plus we end up with 63.7. Now this number, we want to round the fractions to the nearest 0, half, or 1. 2 and 1/8. 1/8 is closer to 0, so this actually goes away, and this becomes 2. 5/6 rounds, it's almost 1. It rounds up to 1. So this number actually becomes 5, and 2 times 5 is 10, and that's it. This was it, guys. Congratulations. Study well. Make sure you go back and find everything that you're not good at and work on that, because you want to get out of this class with a guaranteed pass. Okay? See you on final day.